In ancient times, when a young man would come of age, most typically, and in cultures and societies all over the world, this young man would go out into the forest on his own to find out who he was and to figure out really whether or not he wanted to be a part of this thing called society and culture. Now, when a young man goes out and he does that, he learns something that he cannot be taught by his parents, that he cannot be taught by any one of his peers. And ultimately, he doesn't have to be a part of society. Now, his parents might say that he has to. His associates might incline greatly that he ought to, but ultimately, he doesn't have to. Now, in our culture, we don't do that. I mean, I guess we do. If you have enough money, then you go off to a place called college where anything goes and it's the time and place for anything. Everybody knows that. So, but a lot of young men in our society don't get this opportunity because it isn't really built into our culture. And unless you, I suppose, have the bravery to go out and do this on your own, which totally understandable if one doesn't, then you never quite figure out whether or not you want to be a part of society. And so this is why we have all of these people who hate society and want desperately to destroy it. Because they don't feel as though they have an option. Now, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to have a job. The only thing you have to do is die. Seriously. There's nothing that you have to do. But often I think that young men, when they go out and they do this, or young women for that matter, I mean, hell, it's 2022. You know, if you're a biological female, or God, I got to be careful what I say there, but and that's what you want to do, then I encourage you to do that. Then go find yourself. Go figure out whether or not you want to be a part of this society. But when a young man has that opportunity and he goes out and he fends for himself and he's all on his own, most often what happens is he begins to find out that while he can do it on his own, life would be much easier if he would cooperate with others. Life would be much better if he learned how to get along with people and learned how to get along within a society. I mean, we're a herding animal, and people look at animals and they look at themselves and they see no similarity whatsoever. But you are an animal, essentially. A flesh and blood, you know, your heart beats. I mean, there's not that much difference between us and deer or turkey or anything else. Aside from the fact that we think too much and have opposable thumbs, we're not all that different. But in our society, we don't really have that option. Or it looks like we don't really have that option. So if you're going through something like this, then my advice to you would be to go away for a while. Get out. Go to the middle of the forest. Get as far away from civilization and society as you can get. And find out who you are. Then come back and have a conversation with us.